Hey guys, welcome back again. As you can see, I've put the Range Rover inside my garage and I've actually put it on some ramps above my service pit because now it's time to do an oil and filter service on the automatic transmission. So I have a little problem with the vehicle not driving good enough. The gearbox doesn't give enough drive. So I suspect that the oil is very old or there's just too little oil. I don't know. So we are going to drain the oil, take the oil sump off the transmission and replace the filter as well. And then we'll put new oil in to the correct level and hope that it actually makes a difference. Because if it doesn't, then then the gearbox is bad, I think. But we still have to adjust the fuel pump as well. So I don't know if it's just the engine that is very weak at the moment, or if it's the transmission that has bad oil. I only test drove it for like 10 minutes when I bought it, so it was really buying a cat in a sack. And when I drove it back then, that was the summer of 2021. So that's almost 2 years ago now. Back then it actually drove fine. So it had enough power, the gearbox shifted great, and it drove just like a Disco 2 basically, but a little bit nicer. And with the power box, it actually had a bit more power than a stock TD5. This is the BMW 6-cylinder, just so you know that I'm not thinking that this is a TD5, but yeah. So let's go under it and remove the drain plug. Also make sure that the filler plug is able to open, and then we'll drain the oil out and check the condition of the oil. Okay, so we are now under the vehicle, and I have it in park, and the handbrake is on. And here we have the transmission oil pan. There we go. And it's basically the same on the Disco 2 as well. But the most obvious exception is that the Range Rover still has an oil dipstick for the transmission. So that's actually really nice. Now, I guess that we are going to fill the transmission through that dipstick. I'm actually going to use an empty can and measure exactly how much we remove from the oil pan. That way we know how much to fill it with and to start with, and then we can check the level. Now on the Range Rover, this one actually has a cover over it, which I already removed. But if you have to do so, there are 3 screws on each side. There you go. And then you remove a plastic cover. And I also want to remove the sampan. So we are actually going to remove these plastic sides altogether, because they are a bit in the way of where the bolts are holding the sump on. So I'll just remove those, and those plastic covers actually mount up here, 1 bolt on each side, and then on the transmission cross member there's 1 bolt on each side as well. So I'll just remove those quick, and then we can take a good look at the oil pan. Okay, so I've removed the plastic covers. And I've cleaned up all the bolts and sprayed them with some lubricant. And that's a good tip if you want to do this job, that you should spray them every day of the week before you attempt this job. Because here are the bolts that hold the sump in place, and they are just M6, I think. So they are not the strongest bolts. So if they are very rusty, there's a big risk you snap them. So as you can see on this sump, there's 1 at the front, and then there's 1 in the middle, and then there's 1 at the rear. And same on the other side. There's one at the rear, one in the middle, and one up front. So those need to be removed after you've drained the pan, if you want to remove the sump. So here we have the drain hole, and it's a 5mm hex. Yeah, so we'll just let it sit and drain, and then we'll do some other things. Meanwhile, it drains, and then when we come back, we remove the sump pan and take a good look at how it looks on the inside. Okay, so we're back, and I've let it sit for about 6 hours with the drain plug open, and the level has basically not changed at all. I'm actually going to put the drain plug back in, and then we are going to try and loosen that dipstick pipe nut, and then we are going to take off these 6 nuts or bolts that hold the sump pan on. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so it looks like they actually welded the nut onto the sump. So I guess we'll have to take the sump off with the dipstick pipe. Okay, we'll try and remove the sump bolts then. They are 10mm. Okay, let's see if we can get it down. Oh, dipstick is stuck, but anyways, I'll clean that up. Okay, so that's the gearbox with the oil sump removed. And here you can see the oil filter. So, and that one is fitted with one T27 screw there and then two T27 screws up there. So we'll remove those and make sure that the O-rings come with it, and then we'll replace it all. And then you can pull on the filter and get it off. And then you can drain some more oil. Okay, so here we have the sump with the dipstick pipe, and looking in here, it actually isn't bad at all. So that's almost a shame, because it would have been nice if this oil was really bad and then we change it and it would be, and the gearbox would be driving good again. But yeah, we'll see what results this gives. Maybe the oil level was too low. I haven't even checked, if I'm honest. So yeah, but now we know exactly how much we've drained, and we will fill it again with the same amount, and then we have a base level, and then we can take the dipstick out and check the level. So yeah, I'm going to empty this out and then clean it good. Unfortunately, there's no magnet in here. Usually there's a little magnet that collects all the metal filings, but there's none here, so that's a shame. Yeah, maybe the next time, I think we're going to flush this gearbox. So I'm going to drain it and fill it again with new oil. So yeah, maybe next time I'll have had the time to get myself a little magnet and put it in here. So yeah, I'll just clean it up, put a new gasket on, new seal, take the drain plug out again and put a new copper washer on as well. And then we'll stick this back in and start filling it. Okay, and here we have the new oil filter. Now it's going to be mounted like this. And here you can see we have two new O-rings. And on the top part, you have to put this O-ring on, just like that. And it actually says in the workshop manual to lube them up with some new transmission oil. So we'll do that as well. And this is going into the gearbox. And then here we have a little track. And that's where this little O-ring has to go. So let's see if we can do it with one hand. Oh yeah. Just like that. And that's where the pickup tube is going to go onto. So you have to remove the pickup tube off of the old filter and put it onto this one. So now we can take this filter and mate it to where it's going to seat. Let's see, and that's obviously hard to do with one hand. So I'll put my phone on a tripod again and we'll put it back on. Now just make sure to check that the oil seal is even all around the sump. Yep. Okay, so that's the sump back on, the filter back in, and all the 6 bolts have been tightened. So now if you want, you can put the cover back on, the plastic cover, but I'm going to wait with that, and I'm going to fill the car and drive with it a bit first, just to make sure that everything's all right. Yeah, so now we'll fill the transmission oil sump, and we got 4.5 liters. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 5, so 4.5. So we'll put 4.5 liters of ATF back in, and then we'll start it and check the dipstick again. So here we have the filler tube, and I've removed the dipstick and I've put in a long funnel which fits in that really tiny hole. So yeah, so I've got some ATF DX3, and I got 8 liters. Now we took out 4.5, but we don't know how correct that level was. So I think I'll start with just putting 4 liters in, and then we'll start the engine, run the gearbox through all the gears a few times, and then we'll check again. I'll just switch to normal gear. So now we're in high range, and we're in park. We have the parking brake on, and I have my foot on the brake as well. And now we're going to go through all the gears. So we're going to select reverse for a while, then neutral, then drive, 3, 2, 1, and then go all the way back as well to cycle the oil through all the valves and stuff. So reverse, neutral, Okay, so now we can go and check the fluid level. Okay, so there's no fluid on the dipstick yet. So we'll turn the engine off and fill it a bit more and then do the whole procedure again. Okay, so now we have fluid up onto the little drip on the bottom of the dipstick. So I'm going to fill it a bit more and then we'll check again. Okay, so the oil level seems all right now. So I'm just going to check underneath for any leaks, and then we can take the car outside on a little test drive. Wow. Okay, so this is a really big improvement over how it drove before. Now for some reason the handbrake, traction control and ABS won't go out, so that's a new problem. But anyways, the gearbox is doing a lot better now than it was before. So yeah, that's really nice. Okay, so that's a really big relief, that the gearbox actually drives and does it well. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. Now I'll let it rest overnight. I think it's like 1 o'clock at night, so I don't know. And then tomorrow we'll recheck the fuel fluid level and fill it if needed, or drain it if needed, because I don't really know. But it looked to be at the correct level. So yeah, that's huge progress. And another step into getting this thing on the road again, because the last time it was on the road was 2016, which is that's 7 years ago or something now. So yeah, I'm hoping to fix all the basics to get it through an inspection and to get it road legal again, and then we'll see what we do with it. So yeah, I hope you liked it. I hope maybe this could help with your Range Rover or Discovery 2 as well. And yeah, please subscribe if you want to see more, and please like and please share if you have any platforms to share this on. Yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in another video.